Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing incredibly well this fine Sunday. I know that we are all ready for this finale episode of our Dragon Age story, All Templars Are Bastards, here on Girls on These Worlds. We're all ready to wrap this season up with a bow. Before we get going with introductions and the story itself, just to read out the content warning for the last time. The world in which this game is set is one known to many. It is a world where there are a great many injustices and wrongs which need fought against. As such, there are topics that will come up which include oppression, fantasy racism, prejudices against mages, and imbalances of power which often become violent. We recognize that in telling the stories of oppression and genocide against groups of people reflects the many tragic atrocities occurring in our world as we speak. While we feel that the stories of a fight against oppressive rule are important to tell, the health and happiness of our viewers are also crucial. As such, it is important that all of you know the content of the story that we're going to be telling here so that you have the agency to choose either to watch along with us as we tell the story of a fight against such powers, but equally, you can turn off the story should you need to in order to preserve your own comfort. The group and I have discussed at great length our lines and veils when approaching this content, and we will check in with each other frequently. Active use of safety tools are also being used during sessions, and we would urge that you also take care of your own comfort levels. That being said, let us now tell a story of hope in dire times and of the fight for justice. I am Emma, Hamalu on the internet. I use she, they pronouns, and I have been the very, very proud storyteller of this fine season with these absolutely excellent players. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and who they will be playing today. Take it away, friends.
Hello, everyone. I am Torin, or Torin Talks Creativity. My pronouns are she, they. I'm playing Genevieve Devereaux, whose pronouns are she, her, and she is absolutely not ready for what's about to come next. I'm sure it's fine. She can always run. It's okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Val. I'm an any all kind of cryptid, and today I play Theowin, who is a she/her little elf mage, and she's feeling her oats right now, and I can't wait to humble her.
Hi guys, my name is Alice, they them pronouns, and today I am playing Florineus, the little Tfinter necromancer, and just like me, we're not ready for this.
Hi, everybody. I am Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I'm playing Aviana. Her pronouns are she, her as well. She is our little blood mage, and I'm so excited for the game, and I'm so sad it's going to be ending, but it's going to be a lot of fun on the way.
Hi, I'm Ella. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Massey. Her pronouns are also she, her. She's a spirit healer. I'm really stressed about what's gonna happen to my fellow player characters in this session, and I'm trying to be cool about it.
Are you succeeding?
Listen, listen, it's all good. You know, maybe it's the good stress that helps you find flow. Ahaha, laughs in GM. Okay, so as a recap, and to begin with, my little quote from the Chant of Light, as always. The lady knelt at his side, saying, Arise, Aegis of the Faith, you are not forgotten. Neither man nor maker shall forget your bravery, so long as I remember. Last session, we began with a collective effort to avoid someone succumbing to demonic influence and becoming an abomination. They were successful, and a lot of decompression and care led to an evening of comfort for most, especially given how dangerous the next day could potentially be. Flor lay comforting Quintus so that he could sleep. Genevieve went to speak with Griffin and two new elven friends about plans for the heist the following day. Theowin asked Craig if he wanted to have sex, and the group proceeded to kindly, efficiently, and informatively help the pair with their endeavour. The following day, Their plans are brought to reality as they approach the Templar stronghold with goats, their herders, some shambling skeletons, and each other. Sure enough, some Templars did notice and seemed concerned by the scene, heading out to investigate. Then, an explosion is heard within the stronghold, signaling it was time to go for our group. Sneaking in, Templars being taken out along the way, delirium was acquired, and as Harry and Craig went to move the cargo, the others went running up to the sounds of battle. Their elven friends were in danger. A fight ensues where everyone does a fantastic job of handing these Templars their asses. Seriously, if you have not watched last episode, you should do so. It's pretty badass. Before the corpses of the dead are then risen to help take out their captain. It was time to go, under the cover of darkness, and the group are ready to make their way towards Starkhaven, a journey that is going to take about 5 days. Genevieve, I believe you were wanting to send off a message before you left this area. Can I ask what is contained within your letter?
Yes, with the information of the mages being, allowed into Redcliffe for safety and harborage, and then the message that Genevieve personally got. She was feeling great. Now she's feeling incredibly scared with that information. And she has sent a letter to Redcliffe pretending to be an Orlesian noble of some kind and looking very specifically for mages that could fit in to her household and wondering if she could hire two. And I'll even say she sent off a second message to the forgot his name, Eskin, and wondering if he could find out any more information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. They're easy enough to send off. The travel is a little tense at first for everybody. You're kind of decompressing and healing after a fight that you definitely were very successful in. But it leaves bruises nonetheless, especially for a mage. And you know that after what had happened, the risk of people coming after you for repercussions is quite high. But thankfully, you do not find yourself being caught up with by guards or Maker Forbid Templars. The first night of sleep is not necessarily going to be an easy one as you settle down for some rest. Some may choose to rest within the cart. That's your call. It is full of lyrium. But you're able to get yourselves sorted. I would like to know, is there any specific role you feel your character would play, and what does it involve for camping out for a night on the road? It occasionally happens with your group, depending on the nature of your job. It was not one that you had to do so far with this one. You were on a boat with some amount of comfort for those who were not seasick. So what kind of role do you think your character might play? What are they doing this evening?
Theowen, armed with a cast iron pan, would be attempting to make food.
Sure. What are you making this evening?
It kind of depends on like ingredients, like flashback. What can I make in a skillet? I mean, all kinds of things. Probably like.
If some fish are caught, you could.
Honestly,
okay,
yeah. She's gonna, easy things to make. Beans and some fish. And you know what? If possible, some eggs. Very protein rich diet today, but the beans also give us fiber. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be a peaceful, comfortable, nice smelling camp tonight. All right. You're able to put it together. I'm not going to make you roll, but if you want the comedy of rolling, I'm not going to stop you doing it either.
The comedy of
Um,
rolling. I don't want to get anyone have an
no.
upset tummy. I
Yeah.
think
No.
like it's not hard to fry an egg in a
Mm-mm.
skillet. Like
No.
I say this, I imagine at one time like she's attempting to fry the eggs like sunny side up, and then she's like, you know what? We're having scrambled eggs
You
today.
tried, and then went to and you were like, "Oh no, that's okay." That
Yes.
it's like when you're trying to make an omelet, and you're like, "This, I intended for it to be scrambled
I
eggs."
intended this to be something
Yeah.
different. But
Okay.
it's nutritious all the same.
Yeah, I think it's easy enough, and you have enough people around you who can make up for anything that you're maybe not sure about. You can check in with questions, and you're able to get a decent meal for everybody. So you guys have warm food in your belly this evening of fish and beans and eggs. Mm-hmm.
Genevieve is definitely doing the rogue shit, making sure no one's following us, any weird stuff around. So probably searching and keeping an ear out.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I mean, there's traffic along the road itself. I imagine you've stopped off of the road rather than sticking straight on it. So you know that there are people passing. This is not one of the major roads necessarily. You will be traveling up the river. I'm just going to make sure that you guys all are actually on the map screen. You are on the map screen. Hooray! Um, just to save me talking out my bum bum. Um, so yeah, mostly from heading from Wycombe to Starkhaven, you're going to be following the river. It is the easiest path. It's quite a winding behemoth of a river, the Menanter. But it means you've got plenty of fish, which is good, and places to go and bathe.
And definitely like things like make sure everyone changes clothes or like has different cover on. We're not recognizable by anyone who may have survived and or remembers. And then especially Aviana, like put up the hair, make it all nice and pretty, and match what we think my note will be from Starkhaven.
Mhm.
That kind of stuff. Yeah. Fussing. She's fussing.
Yeah.
That anxiety out one way.
It seems like I say. Well, you notice that there are some people traveling probably in the opposite direction, so coming from where you're heading. They leave you well enough alone. You don't see or sense anything that seems dangerous or untoward, but I imagine you're not likely to stop this watchful behavior until it is time for you to try and take some rest. Noted. Anyone else contributing to the evening?
I think like Maddie specifically isn't. I think ever since we started on a journey towards Starkhaven, Maddie has become significantly more sour faced than usual, and is just keeping to herself and not really talking to anyone and mostly kind of like avoiding everyone and staying away from the group.
Noted. Okay.
I think Aviana will be kind of floating around place like through the camp trying to make sure things are set up right, giving Maddie space and helping with some of the healing stuff just to kind of take take a little bit off of her plate while we were traveling there. I think she's definitely a little bit slower because that fight took a lot out of her as far as how much blood magic she actually had to use. So I think she's still in recovery and also having to put back on the noble clothes. Certain things are a little bit uncomfortable for her, and more than just the corset and stays, but uh, as well as just having to reflect on that. And even if there were any goings on the road where she had to put on that noble air, I think she's trying to deal with all of that,
Mhm.
as well as this heavy dress that is uh, difficult to get around in when she's already having a hard time.
Yeah.
Theowen makes sure that you get extra beans and eggs to replenish your iron.
Mm-hmm.
You
Very
know,
appreciated.
because I'm your friend, not your servant.
Yes.
But I also am. Today.
She will make a point to like make sure she's like getting her own stuff because she feels so uncomfortable in this situation. Like she's like, anyone help? She's like, no.
Listen,
I'm not gonna
listen.
lie, Genevieve's probably like, okay, it's okay. Here we're going to sit and I'm going to wash your hair. Like it's just like not
Yes,
trying to be
Mom.
intrusive, but yeah, very much like it's going to be alright.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have spinach, but or a cow.
No cows. Not here. Not right now. Okay. Noted. Yeah, you're perhaps glad of being able to get some kind of rest, even if you are, you know, you're not going to have a bed. This rest tonight is not necessarily going to be a comfortable one for you. But everything else about your current situation in life is uncomfortable. Why not add that onto the list, you know? Okay. Noted. What about Flora? What's Flora up to? Oh,
I think Alice is having connection issues.
Yep.
They've been going off and on.
A glitch in the matrix.
Yeah.
Which in the fade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the fade. Oh no.
Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are able to get you a decent meal, and thankfully, for the time being, the weather is holding off. There is something about this particular region of the Free Marches, especially the closer you get to Starkhaven, where it just seems to rain all the time. Some of you will be aware of that in this neck of the woods. Others, maybe less so, but you will be finding out in the days' travel to come.
Craig, have you always been this damp? Like in Starkhaven, is it always damp?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I thought you meant me. Yeah, no. Starkhaven. It can be, especially this time of year. It's not great.
Do they sell umbrellas, or do y'all just like get a really good cloak to wear? Like what are the local customs? Because we shouldn't look like tourists, and I'm just
Right.
asking because if we belong in Starkhaven, we should adhere to the local customs when it comes to rain.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, honestly, some people, if you wear an umbrella, it's clear that you are prepared for the weather, but probably from somewhere else, because Starkhaven natives know that your umbrella is not going to be much use with the wind. So better to get a decent like cloak that is like somewhat waterproof. That's probably easier.
Do
So
you
you'll
have
fit
one?
more in. I do actually.
Can I have it?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Thanks.
And he'll like rummage and pull out a cloak, and it's quite thick and heavy, but the heavy part is actually just like almost like a extra layer that goes over the shoulders, and then the underlayer is a little lighter, but it's the sort of fabric that would actually prove to be, it's certainly windproof. Like you feel very warm once you put it on, and it's quite good at stopping everything underneath said cloak from getting wet.
Yay! Now I'm local. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, appreciate it. I'll give it back once. Like, I don't like being damp. It's a strange feeling.
It's not the best. If you go out and you're not prepared for it, and then you get soggy, and then you're having to like, just go about your daily business when everything's, I don't like it.
We should put the dog in the cart. The last thing we need is a wet dog.
Yeah. Just safely away from all the lyrium.
Well, it's fine because Aviana is the rich person with the dog, so we have to make sure that she like keeps the dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
true. All right.
Besides, I think he helps her.
Yeah.
I notice
Probably.
whenever someone's not feeling good, the dog just goes there.
Animals are good like that. Well, most animals. Some animals are just dicks, honestly.
I had a cat once that would, when you were feeling bad, actively avoided you.
Oh.
Yeah. It didn't like the vibes.
Well, it's very perceptive of it, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've had cats that used to come and, like, if I wasn't feeling very well, it would come and snuggle up and kind of like.
Are you a cat person?
I mean, I definitely like both, but I do have a fondness for cats. Yeah.
Noted.
Okay. Well,
Thanks for the cloak.
you're welcome.
Smells like you.
Oh, is that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay. Figured I'd check. He goes to go about his evening routine. He'll go and pick up some wood to help for a fire and what have you. But the night will come. You guys can giddy. Do you need to try and get your rest? I imagine some people might be quite watchful, particularly your the rogues that you brought will help with keeping an eye out for things, letting mages get some sleep. So yeah. Sleep comes. It's not great. It's not super comfortable. And sleep is an interesting thing for a mage in this universe. There are some beings like dwarves who don't dream. Never have, never will. Don't know what it feels like. Because in this world, dreams connect you to the fate. And for non mages, they'll have dreams, much like we do, where it's vague things, being in places, seeing certain people. A lot of the times you'll wake up and not fully remember it. But for mages, it's that little bit more real when you are dreaming. Sometimes you can be a bit more aware of the fact that you are currently, your mental state is a little closer, sometimes fully in that place. There are some very rare now, used to be more common before, called the dreamers, who could quite literally shape the fate while they were sleeping. Many will believe that that is either a myth or that they do not exist anymore. Although those of us who play the computer games know that we at least one of them. And it is during sleep that for one of you, you're having one of those very mentally present dreams. And Aviana, as you fall asleep, you are aware of, it feels like feet touching grass. It feels like a natural space. And you can see a tree with thick, sturdy branches that are low enough and staggered enough that it's like the perfect kind to climb up. And in your sleep, and here in this space, it's the kind of tree that you can climb without fear of injury or pain. Because you're not shackled by the body here, you're mentally in this space. You may have seen something similar to this before in your dreams, but I will say you are at least somewhat aware that you are here. What do you do?
Evian just kind of looks around, and there's a, a slight sigh of relief, and just kind of gingerly walk up to the tree and kind of touch the bark, and then I think she'll start climbing.
Mhm.
to get to a good point, just so she can see just like up as high as she can go. Um,
It feels like
uh,
you can be very high.
she
It's
just
nice.
kind of settles in like one of the crooks of the branches just to like watch over everything and just
Mhm.
the beauty of the fade. She loves when these things happen because it's a beautiful place. Even though it's filled with things that are terrifying, there's so much beauty there that the moments where she's more aware of where she is, she kind of takes it in step by step, just up there. While there might not be birds chirping, it's just there's this overwhelming peaceful feeling.
Mhm. Yeah. And you can kind of kick your legs a little as you feel them dangling. And it's a moment where the emotional discomfort you've been feeling recently and the very overwhelming things that have been going on and the questions you've maybe had in your head and the pain that's still there from the fight, um, you have kind of shed a lot of that. And your thoughts are very much still present. You can still think about the things that were difficult, but something about being here, you just feel that little bit lighter, a little bit more capable to deal with just that because the other more real, more physical things are not with you right now. And you will just kind of become aware. At no point did you see anyone climbing up to join you, nor did you see a sudden appearance of something, but you become aware that there is someone sat beside you on a different branch, but within eyeshot. And I believe you have seen this person before. Can you describe to us what it looks like here in the Fade, this person?
Yeah, so he looks similar to Eviana, but that similar bright red hair. His is longer, that is kind of uh shaggy with like a beard. He's wearing very much Ferelden attire. But he's got these bright green eyes that seem to like have a twinkle and glimmer to them. Like the air that he gives off is a little bit mischievous, but there's a sense of care, uh, and strength and this protectiveness that comes off. Um, he wears a very similar ring that Eviana does, and
Mm.
also you can see that he has a very similar amulet that she does. Um, but definitely, he's much taller. Um, very much a almost like a fatherly presence, but not.
Mm-hmm. And he will give you an easy, slightly lopsided smile. Hello, little one.
It's been a while.
Hmm. So you've had a lot to deal with recently.
Nothing I couldn't handle so far, but definitely a test of things.
How are you feeling with these tests?
That's a loaded question. If
Hmm.
I'm happy and terrified and excited, and I feel like in only a moment's notice it could all be ripped away.
Well, that is true of a lot of things in life. You've been doing remarkably well. I'm very proud of you.
The codes in your spell book are just challenging, but I figured out a quarter of it. I've got a lot to go.
It's a lot, and it takes a lot of smarts, a lot of talent. But I have faith that you were capable of it. I'm pleased to see I was right.
I had to use it to harm.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? That fine line between defending and harming.
It happened so quickly, and then it's so surprisingly easy at times. Slightly unsettling, but I know why I use it, and I know what I've come to terms with that. I just worried.
There's a lot of raw power in that kind of magic. A lot of the times, those who wield magic have to train and work hard to build their strength and their power to reach a certain level, whereas with that which you wield, it's coming at it from the other angle. It is intense raw power, and what you're learning is how to control it, measure it. But what is key for us, for you, is that at the heart of it all is good intention. You have a good heart, little one.
I appreciate that.
That worry, it's important you keep that worry and not just get used to it.
Has my sister shown any signs yet? I didn't. I'm worried about her. She's almost the age when I started, and she doesn't have this. She doesn't have the book. She doesn't have anything.
Not that I've felt.
Okay.
Perhaps it's for the best with the way things are. Things have been a little erratic, and you see him like looking around like he's talking about the space in which he inhabits, and not just the land which you inhabit. Have you been doing well otherwise?
As well as can be expected. It's finding a balance of living and surviving, but I'm trying to do more of the former than the latter. I think that is why I'm so nervous now. It's easier throwing myself into danger when I don't have people that I care about. Now I do.
But it is the people that you care about that can make life worth living, no?
Exactly. It's like I never thought it was possible. It was easier to block that piece out. And don't get me wrong, I'm so happy that I found not only friends that I love and care about, but someone that I'd be willing to share the rest of my life with. And I am racked with fear of losing that. And I know that loss happens and that is just a natural part of life. Just about every time I've gotten something where I felt comfortable, I felt safe, it has been taken. And that is a hard thing to get used to.
Yes. It can be. But you have a big heart, a warm heart that has a lot to give, little one, and it is important that you share that and let it be loved in return. When you pass, the main thing that will linger with you, like echoes, it's the love that you felt. It's not the deeds, it's not the wealth, it's not even how strong you may have gotten or the achievements that you felt very proud of. The thing that will linger with you in the time after is that which made your heart beat. I am glad you have found people that so clearly love you.
She will just look out over everything. And there's one thing. I have a friend. She's haunted by the fate. I don't know what you can do. Just watch over her.
What is it that's haunting her?
I don't know. I know growing up in an alienage could be horrible, and she's terrified of being overtaken, even though she's so incredibly strong. She just needs someone in her corner over here. She feels alone. I felt that way at one point, and luckily I found you. I don't think she's found anyone over here that isn't trying to take something.
There are some who will fear any influence from this side, even the positive. But if it is in my power to assist, then I can.
Thank
It's
you.
a little harder. We're drawn to what we're drawn to.
I understand.
But she has you all. And that can go a long way. I trust you. I have no doubt that they all benefit from having you in their company.
I do my best.
Good. And you accept when others help you, of course, yes?
Still learning that. Trying to. You know I'm terrible at it. What? It took you 4 years just to get me to even try to cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning. It's taking time.
Well, we
Like
all
I
get
said,
things when we need to.
that is true. I know we don't have much time left, but I'm glad of the talks that we get to have.
Things felt a little too turbulent recently. It didn't feel quite so easy to connect. But I felt like there was a need for me to come and see you today.
I appreciate it. Is there something wrong?
No?
Okay.
No, nothing wrong. I just, I don't know. I come when I feel like you need me. When you're willing to accept it.
She kind of will look down and just kind of give a chuckle and probably continue just talking about everything that's happened, good and the bad and the stressors and just how you talk to an old friend.
Yeah. And he'll share anecdotes as best as he can. The longer that you connect to him, the anecdotes feel less like real hard memories and more just advice. It's like the feeling of him more encapsulating what it is to be spirit than it is, who he was. But they're still yours. And when you wake, although there is the usual aches and pains, especially the discomfort of sleeping on the road, doesn't matter how fluffy a bedroll is, it's still a bedroll.
I'm from the alien age. This is fine.
Like, I gotta give me some pine needles. They're comfy as shit.
It's like, ooh, the ground, a rock for a pillow. That's
good for the back.
luxury.
Yeah. But you feel those in that moment still physically recovering, still trying to pull back energy after using that much blood magic. However, there's a lightness inside of you at having been able to make that connection. And anything else on top of that, yours to decide. But you do definitely feel the positive after effects of when you get to make that connection. And the rest of you are able to rise, have some breakfast. Maybe this is also protein filled. Maybe this is just, the 5 days of protein that we're getting.
Just listen.
Inadvertent paleo.
Yeah, this is a little bit more keto than paleo at this point.
Yeah.
But maybe there was some fruit that was found. The brain runs on sugar.
Yep, the grapefruit.
No, I think what's really cool is that you can do a cast iron skillets that a lot of people don't know is you make biscuits in them, American style biscuits, which means Theowen, with all of this flour that she has acquired from before, is just making scones for breakfast. So
Also, at some point along your journey, because you have 5 days, you can also find some acorns because you can make some
Oh,
very
acorn
interesting
flour.
pancakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to like she knows
Uh-huh.
because like the wisdom you have to like you have to blanch and boil acorns to hell though to get all of those tannins out or else they're just gonna be so bitter.
Yeah.
But acorns are edible, it's just that they're gross if
Yeah.
you don't know how to prepare them.
Listen, everything is
Yeah.
edible once. Um,
There's a moment she picks up a mushroom and she looks at it. No.
yeah. Tap into your elven senses, you'll be like, no, this one's a
That
bad
cat
one.
is red. I don't think we should eat
Yeah.
it.
You're like, don't
That
touch it.
cat, we should, but not for food, for fun.
Uh-huh. 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 You're able to
Which she
be
doesn't
on,
do. She's sober.
yeah, on the road again.
Mhm.
On the road again. And feeling the further and further away that you're getting from Wycombe, perhaps the easier. It's up to you and your character. Slightly less stressful at feeling like you perhaps have not been followed. It's been long enough now, and enough carts of people have been passing. Granted, yours is chock a block full of lyrium, so you know. Hopefully, you're not passing people who are going to be able to pick up on the vibes of that. It is well covered, so you cannot visually see the glowing blue. Um, but you're able to get going a little closer to Starkhaven. Today is overcast. We have some stratus clouds in the sky. So the temperature is mild but muggy, and there's that sort of persistent drizzly rain. It's not super heavy, but it's the persistent kind that just feels a little bit gross. And that can affect the mood of people. Um, we can assume that at some point you will be stopping for perhaps a bit of rest, get some food down you, generally take a bit of a load off before carrying your travel on in the second part of your day. I will leave a little bit of room for people to have any conversations they would like to have. But one thing I would like to note is that at some point, Flora and Quintus, you're going to have a conversation. And also, Flora, and anyone else who wants to pay attention, you may notice that being on the road, Quintus has eased from the first day that you met them, and they were quite stressed out, strung out, very emotional. It seems like that is easing ever so slightly. Not completely. It's not like they are laid back and having chit chats with everyone and smiling and laughing. But you may notice that Quintus and Owain have been quite talkative with one another in moments of quiet. Um, so you may have your own conversations, but at some point, Quintus may approach Flora. So, anyone got anything in particular you are looking to achieve while you are resting down, getting some snacks, making sure the horses that are pulling your cart are getting some rest, bit of light grazing.
I feel like as we're setting up camp, I think Eviana would be trying to make sure everybody is taken care of. But she'll be kind of flitting about, moving nonstop, trying to make sure everyone is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, Genevieve. If you do this, if once you pass her, she's gonna be like, "Nobles, do not make sure everyone is okay, dear. They let the other people do that."
Well, sure, but also sometimes it just helps to help a little. What else am I gonna do?
Be a noble. means absolutely nothing. Except you let people on autism around for fun.
Oh god, I hate this.
I know. Sorry. It'll be okay. Just, never know when people will come up.
Great.
What's this?
I think Craig, almost to punctuate that point, will come past with the bowl of food because things have been getting served up to you, Aviana, and be like, "Your food, Sarah."
Yes! Your stones I present to you.
And I think Chen will just give a pat on the shoulder, like, good job.
Your stones and beans, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you need a drink?
Sure. Thank you.
I'll fetch the jug. And he scampers off.
Just the hang the head moment of.
You notice that he actually seems to feel more he's probably been doing this for the past couple of days, and it seems like he is far more comfortable acting like he is serving you than he is like, having to be a member of the group and doing actual work.
See, here's the thing. Craig was never a bottom. He's just a service top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure is.
Honestly, it's true.
To service anything Theo asks him to be.
Yes,
Math
ma'am.
is platform.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as noted, eventually Quintus will come back over, having grabbed his bowl of beans and scones. Will sort of sit himself down. Body language is still very much insular, pulling in, quiet kind of demeanor. And we'll start eating. It's not as dry as I thought it might be.
Yeah. Floor has definitely been keeping themselves probably a little scarce the last few days, both recovery wise and the fact that they're still dealing with a lot of this. But I don't think they have the option to run. Yeah, Theowen is learning a lot faster. Just don't ask her to make bacon.
Bacon? Why?
She has
I am
a
fine
lot of
making
problems with bacon.
Oh,
Just don't
okay.
make
I
bacon
wasn't sure if it was
shirtless.
just a dietary requirement or.
No, she's just really bad with it. Gets really flustered.
Yeah. How have you been?
I can only imagine better than you, but
Yeah. I still don't know what to think or feel or what I should be doing. I guess I'm a little scared that they might try and hunt me down.
I don't have any say over what you do from here, Quintus. It's not.
Technically, you do.
No, it's not my place anymore. And even if I pretended to do that, at least one person would smack it out of me.
I've just never had to. I've never had the choice. I've never had freedom. I don't know what to do with it. If indeed I have it, I appreciate your words, and for the time being, it's all well and good. But they went to great lengths to acquire me again. So I don't think they're going to give up on that very easily.
I have no right to ask what they did or what you've been through, but if you want to go at it on your own or with the elves we've met, or I can't say no, but at the same time, if this group does a lot, and I don't think anyone would let that happen. I've seen these people fight to the death for someone they've known a day. Hell, they'd probably fight to the death for the dog.
I guess that's a mark of their high morals.
But if you did want to stick around, I can't promise nothing will ever happen, and people aren't going to chase you down any more than they were going to chase me down. But I would not let that happen while I live. And if you are wanting answers and how to deal with things, look, Hari would probably be the best person to ask over me. He's a very good guy.
Well, I guess I'm kind of conflicted because, on the one hand, if it is you that they wanted originally, then we are concentrating the target on our backs. But on the other, I don't think anywhere else would be as safe for me. If I truly do have a choice for the first time in my life, then I'd still like to be here with you. I feel safest here.
I won't make that decision, and I can't say that doesn't make me happy, Quint. You are the closest thing I have to family.
Same. And he'll loop an arm with yours. In many ways, I was trained to be the companion that you needed. and to keep you safe and do whatever it was that you needed, but it didn't ever feel like work. And I used to think maybe I was just being a fool back then, or it was just the conditioning that I was feeling that way, but I knew that you cared. I knew it. And as difficult as it was when they dragged me away, I was happy that you weren't being dragged away too. I hoped that you'd at least be safe. I don't know that. Well, you seem happier now, or at least you seem like you have a purpose now.
Loaded some days. Still paying for sins, and the easiest place to do it, but
Yeah, and this group, they seem really nice. I'd like to get to know them.
I don't think they'll give you any choice but to if you stay around.
There is one thing that I can't keep this secret. There's a strong likelihood that your family has a phylactery for me, which means they would be able to track me. And I of course, I want to stay with you all. I want to feel comfortable and safe and like I'm choosing what to do with my life, but I don't know if I will actually get that choice.
Quintus, I don't think there is a mage here, barring maybe Theowen, who never was inside of a circle or anything, that doesn't have a phylactery. We're all 3 steps from being hunted and killed for it, but if knowing that makes you nervous or wary on any choice you wish to take, you say the word, we will fucking Imperial and
Oh,
trouble.
Even the Fade didn't like that.
even the Fade,
Goodness.
yeah. Oh no, the
It was like,
phylactery.
oh,
Yeah.
that is so much. Oh my, stop, please.
The Fade was.
We're so violent.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Okay. Well, we'll see. The end of that conversation can happen in a moment. Is there any of the rest of you that are finding each other or other people in the camp that you are looking to have a conversation with before we move on? No?
Not yet.
No? Not yet? Yep. We all good? Okay.
Yeah, no, that also didn't occur to me. Yeah, I don't have a phylactery. Why would I have one of those? Like,
Well, you never made it to the circle.
yeah.
Our circle mages will have though. Okay. So, we are able to get ourselves together again, get traveling once again. It's like I say, gross weather, and although the temperature is technically warmer, because you are wet, you feel the chill a little more than you perhaps would have. Your rest that night is not comfortable. Some of you may have clothing or outer layers that make that a little easier, but you know, in general, it's just one of those days. And some of us lives in parts of the world where we know those days all too well.
It happens nearly every day for 10 months out of the year where I live. So.
Yep. And I live in
same.
Scotland, so we're
Yeah.
I'm East Coast at least, so it's a little less rainy here than it is on the West Coast, but hooray.
Yeah, I definitely think Jed is like just miserable, but has done this often enough where she's like, all right, you know, get your boots on. We got shit to do. But
Yep.
there's definitely like the wet mop feel of just like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's so beautiful. It's like cold in sun. This
Mhm.
is horrible.
You know, I actually kind of like it because I don't know what it is, but like the way that like this the green against the trees, because they're like this dark green against like the gray clouds. I think it's really pretty. I've never like I mean, yeah, I'm damp, but Craig gave me his cloak, so I'm fine.
You
There's
actually feel
definitely
pretty dry.
yeah, there's definitely a look from Jed where you say it's just like shut up.
Well, you're the
This is
Dorian
just
of the party. Understood.
Yep.
Like
Like
there's sand
everything
everywhere.
should be cold and opulent and dry. What to be dry? Like, just especially because she's been taking turns with Reagan and Hari, especially. I like there's probably like little bursts of sleep for all three of them as they're doing watches and stuff. So they're just like, "Ugh, this is awful. It's starting to grate on them probably a little bit.
Oh, come see. Come see. Come see. Get really close. Okay. And like I'm gonna hold up my cloak and I'm gonna like kind of wrap you like in it a little bit. And then I'm gonna hold out my hands. I'm just gonna make a little fire between us. How's that?
Thank you. Oh,
You're
this is so
welcome.
much better. Unfortunately, the inside of your clock now is a little bit wet, but
No,
I
it's
appreciate
fine. It's gonna dry because there's a fire in here.
it. Yeah, and
That's how
she's
fire
definitely
works.
just little air hole in the top, please. Yeah.
It's coming. It's not burning anything, so there's no smoke. So it's just fire.
And she's just warming up her fingers, especially if she's got to use her bow. Her hands probably hurt a little bit. She's a little bit older.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Saywin.
You're
Also,
welcome.
Saywin, good job with that damn door. I mean, we were going to get it eventually, I'm sure, but it was nice to see you just explode the damn thing. I enjoyed it at least.
Oh, I just air punched it.
Mm-hmm.
I've
But
done that before. What?
Can you imagine though the Templars, especially the few that might have survived? Well, fuck them, but anyway, they have to explain that. It's going to be hilarious,
Here's the
especially
issue.
because they're going to be like, "Oh, but they were gods, and it was really scary." Oh no!
Well, not only that, probably the ones that surviving never saw it because they were too busy pooping.
No, that's what I'm saying. So they have to explain it. And how the hell is they going to explain that they
They
left?
can't. They
the
were too
hold
busy.
because there was boats outside, and they're like, "Why weren't you protecting the Lilium?" And be like, "I don't know. Look at the damn door. Can you protect that?" It's going to be an absolute shit show.
Explain it to your superiors. I couldn't look after the Lurium because I was pooping. Yeah.
And then then the superiors are just like, was everybody pooping? And then everyone there would just be like, actually, yeah.
Except for like the celiac ones, where they can't eat bread, and then they were going to be
But
the one going after the goats.
they're just dead now.
Well, maybe, but still, the look
Or
on
the
their
celiac ones
faces.
did have it, and they're probably
They
still
really
in
were
the,
hurting.
they're still in the Lodrian.
Days later, still clamping. And Telly just laughs at the thought of like, "Sir, I swear, we had problems outside. There were goats screaming, and it was
Yeah.
weird, and there was glowy stuff, and there was mist everywhere. Yeah.
I imagine this is
Gravity
like
was
really
weird.
funny to look at because we're just both in my cloak and there's a little fire and we're just giggling like children, like at poop
Absolutely.
jokes.
I think it's some levity that they probably need, though.
Mhm.
Especially Genevieve, just being probably really tired and cranky and soggy. This is awful. Hair's wet and damp, stuck to her forehead.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But,
You know, I heard that there was like this this company owned by like these dwarven traders that are really good with skin and hair. Maybe we'll run into their cart and we can find you a way to like keep your hair like defrizz during the trip.
It would be nice. Ever since we left Kakwa, it's just been getting bouncier and flippy and oily. It's horrible.
You know, if you have like a metal comb, I could heat up the comb and we could like take it through. Have you ever used a hot comb before?
When I was younger, but honestly, once the line ends, if we can get this damn line to stop or just get in a building, that would be lovely.
If it makes you feel better, everybody's frizzy right now.
But they're used to being frizzy. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, she's like,
To
"Thank
tell
you,
you the
fuzzy."
truth, I was about to say even Maddie is frizzy, but Maddie's always a little frizzy.
She kind of hangs out in sewers. Not that there's a problem. It's not like she doesn't do great work, but also
Yeah.
I just pretend to, find my work elsewhere. We're all used to different things.
I'm actually very used to you get very used to just like smelling things when you're from the alien age that you don't want to smell. So honestly, Maddie just kind of smells like home for me.
See, and that is
Yeah.
totally fine. Again, I'm not knocking it. Just
it's just not for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I don't have to smell it, stuff like that daily anymore. Like now I'm happy that I get to like smell lemon scones. I have no idea how I keep getting all this zest, by the way. I just have not run out. Like that was a fruitful tree.
I think she like looks at you and then looks at Craig. Oh, yeah, no idea. Such poor boy. Oh, okay.
Why? What? Why is he a poor boy? He's a grown man.
Sure. In some ways, absolutely, you're correct. I'm not dismissing, but there are ways for everyone to go.
Okay.
That's it. Like you punching a door. Can't wait to see what else you explode. I mean, you could have used your bow. You didn't have to.
I can't punch a door with a bow.
No, but we can open doors.
Right. But it just...
And even after that, you did not use it.
No, I didn't. Well, I was really busy because I figured that y'all could use help with your weapons, so I just made magic weapons for you.
I don't know if Jen and Theowen have kind of the relationship where, because Jen tends to like pat hair or like comb through someone's hair when she's kind of feeling like a, matronly or, that kind of thing. So I think she kind of just...
I miss my mom, so you can do that.
Okay. And I think she'll do that and just, Theowen, it's amazing when you can trust yourself and your abilities and do fantastical things.
Only once in a while when absolutely necessary, though.
No. All the time.
No. All the time means that I would get possessed, and we don't want that. and then my little fire goes out. I was like, all right. Theowen warming session is over.
Yeah, like,
I'm gonna go over to Maddie.
You leave and just...
It's just
like,
look
at the
next time.
Look at the examples around you, my dear.
I'll see you on your next scheduled warming session.
You're going to remember what I said.
I already forgot what it was.
No, you didn't. Don't
Yes,
lie
I
to me.
did.
You know you can't lie to me.
I don't know how to lie. It's fine. I forgot, like, out of character, I really did forget what you said. So,
Eowyn didn't.
it was very. I just remember the feelings it gave me, but I don't remember the words.
Honestly, that's good enough.
Yeah,
That's what she was aiming for. You're good.
yeah. It was very uncomfortable.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Just waddles away like.
All right. So, warming session done. Travel for the rest of the time is fairly easy. You may occasionally catch other people who are camping. I would imagine you guys would tend towards finding other spots to rest rather than going and joining other people's camps. Um, you can keep yourselves mostly to yourselves. Occasionally, maybe making a bit of a show of the fact that you are in a very polite, nobility way, regaling people, regarding them as they pass by you. But otherwise, keeping to yourselves. The weather the second day is also just that hanging rain. It clears up by the following day, and eventually you guys will see ahead of you the city of Starkhaven. And you know, I imagine there are many thoughts and feelings going on the closer that you get here. You're aware that the people you're actually delivering this to have a camp outside of the city itself, so it is your call about whether you dip straight to them and trying to find them or heading into the city first. But we will address that when we come back after our break, everybody. We're going to go to a break early and hopefully we can get Alice sorted out. We're going to take about 10 minutes where we can rest, deal with some tech gremlins, beat them into submission, and hydrate ourselves. I would recommend you guys also go and hydrate and stretch leggies, and we will see you in 10 minutes, everybody. Goodbye. Hi, everybody. I hope you rested yourselves and hydrated. We have mostly beaten into submission the tech gremlins. But we're back. We are ready to now arrive in Starkhaven. You are still on the approach. There is two options ahead of you on this road. One is to go into the city of Starkhaven itself. The other is to veer off and go and try and find this encampment of mages, which you were told about 10 sessions ago from your boss, Shona. So I imagine as you are doing said approach, you may discuss that with each other, with a little bit of strategizing. And in theory, you could ask the people here who are from Starkhaven, but one of them has very pointedly been rather quiet. So, who would spearhead the discussion of what are we doing?
Eviana.
Yeah.
So as we see it in coming in, so my dear, what would be less suspicious? We just walked into town and yes, we are Starkhaven nobles, or should we be safe to go find our people first? What do you think?
Well, I I think we might be okay. We can change, probably not stick with Starkhaven. If we do need the noble shield, I do have my Ferelden garments I can wear. My family's from the south, so I don't think we would have as many issues here, if
Okay.
necessary. I'm fine acting as the shield in this case.
You might be a beautiful centerpiece. It'll be fine. But I will back you up in any way. If that is the case,
Uh,
oh, go ahead.
I'm really
Matthew?
sorry. I think my internet is also now not our best friend. Um,
That fate is so like applicable today. I actually feel it. As the
I
non-mage
keep
of the
telling
party.
y'all, like I
I don't
don't.
like it. It's trying to hug me. It's weird. Anyway,
You're coming through good now.
well, yeah. Maddie, you are not glitching, maybe.
am I not? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Maddie's just kind of like, we should just meet our contacts. We should not go into town. We should be quick and subtle, and leave as soon as possible. She's got her hood up, and she's had it up since a few miles out of town. She is trying not to be seen. She's visibly uncomfortable, but she's kind of like, we should go to the meeting spot. We should not go into town.
Are you trying to hide that from us at all? Just being uncomfortable.
No. Like, I think she's like, yeah, she doesn't feel any. Obviously, she's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, what we could do is Holly, myself, Lagan, go find people if we need to, because we do have this large cart and quite a number of people now. We're looking at, our newly acquired friends. But yes, let's go there first, and we'll keep an eye out.
So we're not gonna go into town at all.
We would, well, we might, especially to
We're
resupply.
we're out of beans.
Yes, and I think we can. But let's get the work done first, and then we can.
Okay.
resupply.
Yeah.
And then if we need to figure out whatever that camp needs, we could help supply them as well as us.
Sounds good. Holly.
He'll so like you'll see him like pop his head up. He has for a little bit been at the back end of the cart, leaning quite casual, comfortable, reading. Will slowly like sit and meerkat his head up from above the side of the cart. What's up?
Would you like to scout ahead? Find our friends?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, he's just looking so heads up. She's definitely just gonna just pick on him relentlessly. Not
Um,
relentlessly, but
yeah,
enough to make herself laugh. She
and
needs a
he
laugh.
hops and jumps off the cart and lands in a way that is cooler than he really has any right to, especially off a moving cart.
Oh,
Um,
get Levon sleeves. Let's go.
uh-huh. Um, and he'll move his way to the front, pull up his hood of his cloak, and start to move his way ahead of you guys. Picks up a decent pace. You guys have had to go at a slower pace than maybe you might have normally, because although you have there are horses here, they're pulling a fairly heavy cart. So that kind of decides the pace for you, and you guys don't want to push yourselves too much either. But he will nip off, and then you see him sort of like veering off to the side, where he's about to do a bit of a scout for you all.
Yeah. I'll try to keep my eyes out so we don't veer off too much if I can
Yeah.
see where he's going. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And he will come back to you. You guys may even stop your own movement, knowing that if you were to continue going, you would be arriving at the city. And so keeping yourselves far enough away that perhaps you are not necessarily being seen by any guards at the edge of town. Eventually, he will emerge back, not hiding himself so much. You can see him on the approach. And will probably pop up to you, Oriana. Yeah,
Who
they're
is Oriana?
huh?
Genevieve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Genevieve,
They're
sorry, yeah.
very similar. Other rogue that's a cockroach is
Oriana
fine.
also sounds very similar to names of people at the stable.
I'm okay.
To Genevieve.
Yes.
We are. It's maybe about a 20-minute ride just down that way. Just go around that small hill there and in towards the trees.
And the cart will be
It's
okay.
yeah, mostly we'll have to take it slow. Don't want anything to break.
Got it. All
But
righty.
I let their own scouts know that we were on the approach so that they don't get frightened.
They didn't try to shoot you or anything, so good.
Yeah. Well, it was a little bit of a
face. She'll just like pat him.
okay. Yep.
Oh, I did stop. Sorry.
No,
Okay, come
all
on.
right. I've just learned how to dead weight it, just accept my fate with you and those comments.
Oh, it's a good idea. Because
No
it
sense
won't stop.
fighting it.
Okay. The cards move again.
Uh-huh. So you can go back and get everyone else sorted and settled, and those of you who are particularly good with horses can start to get it going off the track itself and making your way across. Because it's a little bumpier. Occasionally, you will hear the clanging of glass on glass at a few parts, but you're taking it slowly enough. At least the cart. And start to make your way. And eventually you can see in past the tree line the signs of a camp. You can see that there is stretches of whether it's twine of some sorts between a couple of trees, whether it's clothing draped and drying. There is slight plume of smoke that you can see of a fire, and there is a gathering of, you would probably say, eyeballing it, about 20 to 30 people here. It's become a decent size in terms of little camps outside of a city. And there are a couple people on the approach who are meeting you before you get to the camp themselves, eyeballing you a little. Those of you who are mages do not get any sort of like magical sense from them, but the closer that you get to this camp, you are quite aware that there are definitely quite the concentration of mages in there. Seems like they're making do as best they can with what they have.
Yeah. Jen will definitely just very friendly type of thing. Just, hello.
Mm-hmm.
The reinforcements have arrived, and making a grand gesture.
Yeah.
Trying to get a laugh.
Yeah. I think one of them definitely does laugh at that and look to the other who, things have been pretty dire and serious out here, so it's like the other was a little harder to laugh. It looks like there is one human, one elven, both female, who are standing there and just kind of give a nod of understanding. Yeah, you're gonna want to go in there with that stuff. We can get in the cart, and there might be a little tricky, but if you pull off just to the side there, we can start loading the crates
We have
in.
some strong people that can help as well.
Oh, great, because yeah, if those crates are heavy, I'll
I think she
I'll
like
go.
pats like Craig
Yeah.
and them, just like, yeah, you go.
And the elf will look to the human and sort of be like, I'll go get the others," and disappears off into the camp itself. And you're
Mhm.
able to make your way in. Like I say, you can see a gathering of people. It seems like the vast majority are human of various descriptions. And stepping towards you is a human woman who has dark hair in a, one of those like messy buns up top that maybe looked a little better a day or so ago, and is just kind of getting a little straggled at this point. Wearing leathers. You're not getting the impression for the mages amongst you that this person is a mage. And by the cut of the leather, and general getup that they're wearing, clearly have some kind of means. This is armor designed for actively using it, and it does look like it has been used. There's a few occasional spots that have the marks of battle on it. Well, I was told I was expecting you all.
Yes.
I'm Alexandra. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you, Alexandra. I am
Mhm.
Genevieve.
Genevieve. She'll hold out a hand. She looks about ages with you, Genevieve. Looks about in her 40s.
Yeah, there's definitely a camaraderie of,
Yeah.
well, we're in the shit now. Like, definitely just shake hands and just,
Yeah.
yes, I hope you're all right.
Mm-hmm.
As
You'll
good as you can be.
We're making do. You've come some journey. Do any of you need anything? Healing, food? How are you faring?
Thankfully, healing we are okay. But food definitely could use, and if you have dry clothes, would not tone it down. But
Well,
you know,
we definitely have clothes, mostly dry. Thankfully, the tree cover is doing its best, but it has been a little rainy of late, so that's not been the most helpful for that.
Also, if you have any information, you have only a little, but I figure we probably need to trade a little bit in that.
We have quite a bit of information. Why don't we get you in, get something dry on you, get some food, and I will. My tent is just over there, and she'll point to one that is made of quite rugged brown fabric, but it looks sturdy. It looks like it has been here for quite a while, and this is not one of those little temporary pop-up tents just to keep you covered for the night. It's a decent tent that you might see almost like at a war camp. I'll meet you there once you're settled. Yes?
Sounds good. We will be there.
Great. Our people will be dealing with delirium. Thank you for transporting. We
have
have.
a story for you whenever you want to hear it. It's great.
I look forward to hearing it.
Yes, it's good. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's quite alright. Shona, well, she tends to hire the best, so.
Sorry.
Mm.
It'll be fine.
Okay. I trust you. Listen, lengthy days on the road can make one a little delirious, so. Please, get comfortable. I will see you in there.
Sounds good. And then Jen will definitely help everybody get ready, get settled, but also kind of try to find like, hey, mages, here's other mages. Go
Hey,
be mages
mages.
together.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to do it in the Hey Brittany voice. Hey Brittany.
Hello, kids. I am a fellow kid also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Anyway.
Jen's losing it just a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But yes, at least for Jen, she'll make her way to Alexandra's tent.
yeah.
Uh,
And the rest of you can see there are definitely a collection of mages here. It seems there are a decent amount of those 30, like maybe about a third of them they're young. Not all children. There's maybe like a couple of children here, but they are teens at best. There are a few people who are making food. They are tending to each other. You can see a few of the sort of like mid-teens are sitting around one person who looks much older, like probably 70s, maybe even pushing to 80, sitting talking to them and explaining a few things. You recognize the chat as basically being given a lesson. It is the sort where it is encouraging different techniques that you can use to calm yourself down, ironically, which is something that you guys have had to do yourselves recently. And these people who are young enough where they are just learning these lessons for the first time. And unfortunately, they do not have anywhere safe currently to be learning those lessons, which perhaps drives home how precarious this current situation is. You're able to grab some food. People are very open and welcoming with that. As soon as you head over, they'll start dishing things up. It seems they also have a stew where you get asked, like, do any of you have like problems eating bread or soup? Like, celiac disease is not necessarily a thing that they're going to have here in Dragon Age Universe, but clearly when people ask you that question, it means that somebody here is clearly of the sort where they have an intolerance to gluten. So they check in with you even and say, we have a couple options here. So you're able to get yourselves fed. There are a few dry cloaks and some, at least the tunics, should any of you need to change into something dry. And then unless there is something specific you're going to do prior to it, you are then free to go to the tent of Alexandra. So you're free to go in. It is quite comfortable for all. It's a random little camp in the woods. There is some kind of semblance of furniture here. A couple of it is maybe a little bit makeshift, but it's still serving a purpose. And you are getting that impression just from what you're seeing here, and also the very got her shit together commanding nature of when you came in and met her, that clearly she has definitely slipped into a leadership role here. And she is penning a letter as you arrive.
okay, thank you for the dry clothes. It has been understandably close getting here. Anyway, so
It's not
I
that
will leave. I don't like it. Okay, but I will leave the fantastical story of goats, ghosts, and Templars on my to later. Be a good campfire story. Anyway, but
Okay.
Mhm. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. But beyond that, yes, we have Lyrium for you folks. I have some general news. I know it's not the same, but apparently the Thralden circles have fallen. And quite violently, in fact.
Yes.
But they are being allowed into Radcliffe by the king. So hopefully it's not too dire then, but it's more bright light in it.
We have heard about the situation in Ferelden. It is surprising to have not just someone of nobility, but a king, no less, opening doors and providing sanctuary for mages.
It's
But
quite shocking, Alex.
Welcome, nonetheless.
Thank you.
Some here, I believe, would like to be in said sanctuary, but I'm hesitant to encourage it. The travel there will be arduous. The roads are not safe right now.
No.
We've had encounters. Some who finally made it here came from areas surrounding, and it's like the mentality of brigands on the road, but with the power and training of a Templar. It is dire.
How is that possible?
They have detached themselves from the control of the Chantry. As far as I can make out, it is not all of them, but that is not really a comfort in the matter. They have decided that with mages rebelling and leaving the circles, going on the run, that they need hunted, and that that is what they have been trained to do. They have that mentality within them. We have since learned about the situation that led to the Navarre Accord being annulled. The White Spire, are you all aware of the White Spire? I assume you are, but I don't want to presume.
Yes.
It's the circle within Valroyo. There was a violent uprising from the mages. And sadly, many senior mages were killed in this. Some managed to escape. Apparently, this uprising was supported by the Divine. Another interesting turn of events. Agents of hers encouraging mages to fight for themselves. I'm not sure what to make of it, but the people in charge and the Lord Seeker decided, well, enough was enough. We're separating from the Chantry if you're going to support this, and we're going to go out and just indiscriminately start hunting mages. Some just escaped from these violent uprisings in the circles and are just trying to get somewhere safe. They're not considering themselves rebel mages, but these people, these monsters, they do not take into account the motives. They just take into account that they are mages. That is enough for them to consider it
Yes.
guilty. So, that's the situation we currently find ourselves in. Another rather upsetting bit of news for some, although we should all be outraged, quite frankly. Empress Celine, she ordered a massacre of elves in Halimsharal. There was an elven rebellion happening in Halimsharal. She was encouraged to end the rebellion so that they could deal with the Templar and Mage conflict. And so, in her wisdom, decided the best way to end a rebellion is not to talk to the people about what it is that they need and want, it is to just greenlight a massacre. So,
What is wrong with people?
I don't know. It is.
It's worked for them in the past.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's right. Just
No.
they're sticking to what they know.
So, as heartwarming it is to learn about Redcliffe,
Yeah.
I fear for allowing these people to travel there. They are not fighters.
No.
Those who can defend themselves and others are out dealing with their own things. They did not come here. We're simply sheltering those who cannot make their own way. So, we're still waiting on some news. I'm due some word soon.
I have sent word to Budcliffe at least to see what is possible. And I sent words to the Cry of the Silence to look into it a bit more directly. So hopefully that glimmer of hope can be a bit brighter.
Hopefully. Oh, that are you Genevieve then?
Yes.
Some word has been sent. I haven't read it, I didn't open it, but it had your name on it.
I will look at it.
I can send someone
I will
to
look
get
at it. Yes. It can wait a moment, but I'll take it. Can I tell who it's from by looking at it?
Once she goes to fetch it and is brought to you, your name is on the sort of like outer edge of the little note that tends to get attached to the raven's legs. It looks like Ascon's writing.
Actually, she'll look at the rest of you. Just, you can handle this, correct? If you need me, I will be ready to do whatever you need. Just tell me what it is. I will be back. She will find a quiet spot away from prying eyes.
We'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to you so that if you want to read it out to the audience, it can be you reading it.
Will do.
It's fine.
For the rest of you, given the news from Alexandra, is there anything that you would wish to ask, clarify, comment on?
Sorry, what was that?
Alexandra, because she said a lot, so I'm just giving everyone the opportunity, should you have anything that you would like to say to her or ask her or to clarify about what she's been discussing, then now is the time.
I think like Maddie is just steaming in the corner, like she's not saying anything, she's just kind of quietly, like, you know, she's still kind of in her own world. She doesn't have anything she wants to say right now.
Okay.
I can only imagine Tevinter's taking advantage of the chaos.
I suspect they will be. We haven't really heard much out of there recently. I'm going to call that a good thing right now. But time will tell. At the very least, they do tend to thrive when the other nations start to struggle.
That's one way to put it.
But for now, we have to deal with the immediate threat that is on the roads around us for now.
Is there anything we can do right now to help you all?
I mean, at the moment, we're just keeping everyone here safe and content. Those who have some seniority, at the very least in their years, most likely in their training with magic, have been trying to help the younger ones. Just to keep them calm. It is hard enough to be young and to be learning magic, especially those who were freshly put there in the first place, and now this is not making it easy for calm and level heads. But we're making do.
Do we know if the Seekers have started collecting the... Mary's forgetting the word for it, but the ways to track mages.
Phylacteries.
Phylacteries. Do we know if the Seekers have collected phylacteries?
I'm not sure. It is very likely that they might. It seems like the circles that have fallen have done so in differing ways, some just with sheer conflict. There were a couple that were burning. I can only hope for some people's sakes that it also destroys those things. Even the circle in Ravine has fallen, which for me is a particular mark of how dire things are.
Desmond?
Yes.
What? Why?
It's
In what way did it fall? They had a positive relationship
they
with
did.
the city. There wasn't anything that the
I
local.
the Templars invoked right of annulment on the tower.
On what grounds?
On what grounds are any of them ever brought to bear?
Yes, but they theoretically they have to have some legal justification. An authority of the country has to give them permission. So on what grounds was it invoked?
I'm not sure. We're only hearing
I think
snippets and whispers. Some official word, but we haven't spoken to anyone who is on the ground. You hear the talk after it has happened. It's
I assume you have wounded.
we have 3 who came in fairly recently. Up to that point, mostly the people who have been here for a while, but we do get people that hear that there is at least some semblance of safety to be found here. Occasionally they'll move on, but
Do you have an infirmary set up?
there are a number of cots next to one of the tents. That is basically our infirmary right now.
Great. And Maddie just walks out.
Okay. All right. And Alexandra will just look to the remaining few. You will be given a space to rest here for as long as you need it. I am deeply grateful for the things that you managed to deliver here. Anything that we have that helps you in your endeavors, you need just let me know. But
Please let us know what we can help with. Anything.
like I say, at the moment we're just keeping calm heads. So if you want to speak to some of them, make people feel comfortable, anything that you can do to bring a smile to somebody's face is honestly, that's enough. But I will pen a letter and send it to Shona to let her know that you arrived and that everything got here safely. So while the rest of you figure that stuff out, Maddie's going to go and see to some things. You do find that there are 3 fairly young, maybe like early to mid 20s mages who are carrying marks of battle. It looks like they have changed now, but you can see one of them has at least bandaged, if not fully healed, scorch marks. A few of them are carrying like wounds and just general aches and pains. One appears to have a dislocated shoulder and at the moment is refusing to let anyone touch it because you know what it's like when you're like, I just don't want to. So there's a few of them that you can go and just do your own version of like trying to process your thoughts by just helping others.
Yeah, and it also is just significantly less friendly than normal. Like it's kind of like when people are like moving around doing chores, but in a kind of punchy way because they're annoyed. Like it's like that, but with healing. So it's like not actually hurting anyone, but just kind of being very brusque. And kind of turning up to people and being like, "Okay, that's a mess. Let me fix it." Like and kind of just like just
Yeah.
yeah.
Field healing. Yeah.
No bedside manner.
Nope. Our camera is going to pan to Genevieve, who has found a quiet little spot. You've maybe just been able to like come away from the camp a little further into the tree line. It's quite peaceful in there, beautiful in its own way. And I will send you the contents of your letter. Yay! Yay!
Terrified.
Because she definitely has like her back to the wall and was feeling like happy, not happy, but glimmer of hope, trying to hold on to it with the note about the mages going into Redcliffe and then
Sanctuary.
heart sinking when she heard that Kinlock Hold fell violently. Oh God, okay. Nico. And she opens it and she just read the first like very quickly and just kind of crumples it back together and just no. She'll open it again just because this is from Askin, her
It is.
what the hell is he called? Quinari.
Yes.
Quinari from like anyone needs to know episode 1.
Yes, everyone. Yep.
And the note reads, "Oh, this is gonna be bad. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a difficult note to light." And that's when she closed it. It was just like, just took a couple of steady breaths and just opens it again. News that shouldn't belong just on paper. Oh, God, okay. Your brother was involved in the fighting as the circle fell. He was defending a woman, a mage, that he had romantic feeling for named Nessa. He was struck down as she made her escape to Redcliffe. So sorry. And I think she definitely just cries.
Mm-hmm.
And just, she wants to crumple the note and just burn it. But she just holds it in her hands. 20 years of planning just out the window. And just the despair in her heart. Just what she would normally do is just try to turn it into apathy. And I think with it being light out still and knowing Maddie very well, I think she'll move further away from the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of pinging range, if you will.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if she knows what her legs are doing anymore. It's just
Wonder for a while.
It's just fallen down out of her body.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, like, 45 minutes later, an hour later, however long later.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to do something to notice that Jen isn't at the camp, because I'm assuming she does not come back within 45 minutes.
Yeah, you may. I mean, given how busy you were, I think you may come back just to kind of see where everyone is at. And I think the thing that lets you know that Jen has not come back yet is Griffin is at the edge of this camp pacing.
Cool. So I see that. I ignore him.
Mm-hmm.
And I go into the woods. I'm kind of imagining woods around here. I don't think you
It
said
is. It's
there
in a
were
copse of woods. It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool, good. I'm glad I didn't
Not
just
big
make that
dense
up.
forest, but you know what I mean, because we all know the
Yeah.
British, but like just like a little copse of woods. Yeah. Mhm.
Little woodland. And is gonna has Jen hidden, or is Jen just kind of like getting space? Like I was kind of imagining her just like kind of sitting down out in the wilderness somewhere away from all the people, but I don't know if she's like made an effort to hide.
No, she doesn't normally. And I think right now she wouldn't have the wherewithal to do it, even if she wanted to.
Cool.
She's not the type of rogue to go stealthing about.
Cool. So Maddie does not switch on the healing aura. She sees Jen. She reaches into her jacket pocket. She pulls out a hip flask of uneven whiskey. She sits down 2 feet away without saying anything and just like reaches out and offers the flask.
Yes, Matty. She'll take it. What do you want?
Nothing.
I don't think Jen's going to say anything to you. For the first time ever, she's not going to say anything. Yeah. There's just silent tears going down her face.
And he just sits in silence with her.
Matty, what circle are you from?
Starkhaven.
Oh, this explains a lot. when y'all, as mages, love other people, is it ever like a true deep love that you can't let go of? Or
Yeah.
is it just a desperate thing you do in desperate measures?
No. If there's one thing that they can't kill, it is our instinct to love.
Then I have a lot to think about. Apparently, my brother died protecting someone that he loved there. I've tried for 20 years to get him back. It's a long time. You know, I fought really hard when they tried to take him from me. Well, tried, obviously they did. He was trying to save me. He was just a kid, though. Very young. And we were trying to eat. They stole food. Templars and guards came after us, and he tried to save me. I've tried to, I tried to fight hard, but I've always tried to make up for it.
I think Maddie looks at Jen. Like, I think before she wasn't looking at her, she was just sitting next to her looking into the woods. And she looks at Jen, and she has these kind of dark brown eyes, and for maybe the first time, she is also crying silently. And she says, I think it matters that you tried.
Yeah.
What we're told is that no one wants to save us. What we're told is that there's no hope, and we're evil, and we make everything worse. And everything and everyone we love is tainted and poisoned and dirty because we exist and we come into contact with it. So there will never be anyone who will come to save us. No parents, no siblings, no family, no lovers, because we should not exist. And maybe your brother didn't know. But I choose to believe that it matters that every time someone said that to him, they were wrong.
Yeah, they were. It's kind of funny. The one thing I come back to is I just really hope that he knew how much I loved him. And that I'm sad that the last thing he heard was me screaming his name as he was dragged away.
Well, if there's one thing I know about you, Genevieve Devereaux, it is that you have an annoyingly memorable laugh. And if there is another thing that I know about you, Genevieve Devereaux, it is that you love more intensely and more kindly than anyone I've ever had the privilege to know. And I do not think someone you loved so much could not have seen that and would not have known that.
I hope so. It's funny. Yes, Elysian now polite. Well, was. That poor boy. His parents all he knew. His people hating him for who he was. Our parents tried to be nobles during the war. So we became orphans, and that's why we got caught. So I once saw a beautiful, wonderful, loving Orlesian boy and thought he was dirt between the feet. But if he did love this Nissa, I'm going to make damn sure that she gets out of this. She better be in Redcliffe. And there is an absolute undertone of just fury in her voice. And they will pay. Well, eventually.
They will. And I'll be with you when they do.
Yeah. I'll figure it out, like I always do. Just maybe not today. I might just replay the death a little bit in my head from the tower, or the wherever the hell we just were. Assholes.
I can help with that. And if the GM will allow me,
The answer will always be yes.
not mechanically, but I'd love to, if I can summon wisps and stuff, then I would love to try and do like a little bit of like kind of like a Gandalf-esque like little light show of just like a little replay of some of the best moments, but bringing in like a sense of humor of like, stick figure template, like that bit where Varric says about how he broke into his brother's house and he by himself like dealt with all the guys.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of that, but with Genevieve, and like, one arrow skewers like 5 Templars and sends them flying, and then they explode into sparks, and like
I'd like to think it's kind of like when a lot of movies have like one real person, and that would be Genevieve doing her badass stuff, and everyone else, all the Templars, are played by Muppets.
So it made me laugh a little bit. Thank you for the show. I think I'll be alone for a little while if it's okay.
But I never had a family. I don't really know what that's like. I was brought up in the circle when I was a baby. I guess my mother was a mage, presumably. But from someone who has had many loved ones killed in a circle by Templars, and often in an attempt to protect the people they love. Maybe don't always be alone. It's not.
I get what you're saying. But let's put it this way, Matty. My only longer companion in Griffin is Grief. I know her very well. Maybe she just needs some company today.
Give her a kiss from me.
Maybe a Scott punch too.
Maddie just kind of squeezes Jen's shoulder and walks away, but she kind of stands at the edge of the wood line, like leaning against a tree until Jen comes back to camp. And if that's not until morning, then that's where she's going to stand until morning.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't think you're going to see Jen later. Well, she has one conversation to have. She might actually sneak for once if she knows you're waiting for her. If she sees you just like, oh, freaking Matty. No.
Mm-hmm.
She might actually be a rogue for once.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We can get to that convo in a second. The rest of you. The camp feels somber, but somewhat positive. And it may be slightly manufactured in a way. It seems like the older ones are trying their best to bring brevity, to do nice things for the young people who are here. It seems like with mealtime, you get the impression when it gets to like evening mealtime that they have like a method of kind of calling them all in, and they get them lining up and they get them getting their meals. And I don't think it takes too much insight to realize that they're trying to create some kind of structure to the lives for these kids to give them routine, because that can have positive effects on people than just being out here in a slightly chaotic unknown. So they do so. And you hear the sound of like a couple of them complaining to each other about who was there first and no, I need to go first. And just hearing young people, they're maybe like 13, 14, being that way with each other, well, I'll let you decide what emotion that puts in your heart. But it feels normal in a way. I think Theo and Craig's gonna kind of come bounding up to you.
Like a puppy.
Yeah, definitely has like the bounding step of a puppy.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
What's up?
it's mealtime. So do you want me to? I mean, I can fetch some for you, or do you want to go and like line up? It's odd, and the way he asked that question, it's up to you how insightful you are with other people. But I'd like to think that he's the one you can be most insightful with than others.
Yeah.
It seems like the prospect of that routine and normalcy seems like it's appealing to him.
Oh, we can go wait in line together and then we can come back here. Sound
Yep.
good?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Do you enjoy being in queues?
I do. I quite like it because I feel like if it's just, everyone just ramming up together and then I try to be really polite and like I'm used to queuing for things. And so everyone just kind of pushes in front and then you get like whatever's left over at the end, which is always a bit yeah. So
Unless it's rice. Have you ever had like made rice in like a pot and then you had the
it's like
bottom of
kind of
the
crunchy at the
rice?
bottom.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
So
that's always pretty good. Yeah.
I make a request to get the in bits of rice because I like crunchy rice.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So how are you?
I'm good, actually.
That's
Feeling
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
We're so close to your home.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if the plan is to go into the city, but if we do, I can show you around a little bit. Yeah. I'd like that.
If Maddie gets mad about it, we can just leave because she can't stop us.
Oh.
She can try, but
Yeah. If it seems like the best thing for the group is that we don't, like, I am okay with that because we can always come back here another time, maybe just us.
I mean, would we have the opportunity?
I don't know.
Because
know.
I kind of feel like I'm always with this group, and for safety precautions, but you're fine. I think you're usually enough safety precautions. Even though I do like Maddie and Jin and Ayana and Floor around, sometimes like it's okay.
We'd get to people
Sometimes
when
I just like hanging out with you.
yeah. I like that too. Cuz you seem more comfortable when you get to make the decisions about what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes having people make a decision for me is also very nice because making choices costs a lot of brain power.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's whatever. Either we go just now or we come away and have a little we can like take a break.
We'll see how the vibes are in the morning, right? We'll see what everyone is feeling in the morning.
Yeah.
And we need supplies, and being that you are the local, you're probably the best one to get supplies, and being that I'm your favorite person, it only makes sense for me to go with you.
Agreed. We can do the supply run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know the places where we can get stuff on the cheap as well, because, like, when I was living here, I was very poor.
I understand.
Yeah. I could, yeah. We'll do that.
Cool. I mean, not to mention, I think that Cloud needs a raincoat.
Yeah, and I can get a new cloak because you can keep that cloak unless you want your own one. But like, you suit that one, so you
No,
can wear
I
that
want
one
to keep
all day.
yours.
Okay, yeah. All right. I like seeing it on you.
Maybe I'll only wear it by itself later.
I would like that even more.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Maybe we should like go. Yeah, because I don't know doing that.
Yeah, I really hope it's more than just scones and beans, because I've been eating scones and beans on the road for almost a week, and if they have like something different, that'd be really nice. If not, I'm not gonna complain about free food. You never should. Never complain about free food.
There's like at least 8 different types of potato that get prepared in Starkhaven that's just really great, you know.
I haven't had potatoes
this
in
one where, like,
so long.
That they boil the potato and then like you coat it in something and then you like roast it and then they smash it a bit and then fry it and it's oh god. Like, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. So like if we go in there, like we definitely have to get some of that because you can put some like salt and maybe a little bit of rosemary on it.
We can't pretend to be like too excited and too desperate for potatoes, but I think potatoes are my favorite food.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
Also, though, if we get the others excited about those type of potatoes, we could be like, well, I know where to get them. So we will bring back those potatoes for everybody, and then they will let us go into
to go buy a sack of potatoes.
Yeah,
and you'll have to teach me how to make potatoes the way you like them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure I know. Well, I could probably give it a good go. I've never had to like cook them myself, but I know where.
Well,
to
that's
get
okay.
them.
You can tell me how they're supposed to look and taste.
And then because you're like really good at cooking them.
I'm okay. I just started. But I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Well, you're doing very well.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Like, honestly, like, you just do so much with an iron skillet.
Just you hit someone over the head with it as well.
You know what? I wasn't thinking about being so violent, but you're correct.
Oh, it's an option.
I was talking about the different kinds of foods you can make in an iron skillet.
Well, yeah. I appreciate that.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I am capable of swinging an iron skillet around hard enough to
Well,
hit somebody in the head with it.
you can do the cooking with the iron skillet, and then when the time comes, I will wield the skillet for you.
You know what? That would go really well with this legendary story that I heard one time, that there's like this cheese wheel just hanging out, but it's also like a shield. And like I
Hanging
can just imagine you with a giant cheese wheel and a skillet.
cheese would
Just
be hard. Is it like hollowed out in any way? How could you use that
I
shit?
have
Those
no
are
idea. It's like
heavy.
a shield made of cheese. It's like this.
Okay.
Like my mom used to tell me the story, and my grandmother used to tell me the story about just this legendary wheel of cheese.
All
Wheel
right.
of cheese
Skillet
that you
and
can
cheese.
wield. Oh my god! You know, it would be so awesome right now.
What?
Brie baked in a skillet.
Oh. You're making me very hungry.
I mean, we're in lines.
That's true. Yeah, oh yeah. Let's go. Shit.
Like,
and you guys can go and
mhm.
get yourself some food. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just being very happy and content. The dog comes with us. If it's not with Aviana, if he's not making sure, it's like we should see if there's red meat available and bring it to Aviana, because blood magic takes up a lot of energy, and sometimes only cows and goats can replenish that.
Yeah. So you can get yourselves sorted with that. Genevieve, where are you sneaking to have this
Yes.
conversation? Who are you sneaking up on?
I would wait until dark and find poor Griffin, this poor man. I'm assuming he is. I don't know what he's doing. I'll find him.
He is still pacing.
Yep, I was gonna say
He
because
is not.
Genevieve.
He's not going to cross the boundary of like going to look for you yet, but you reckon the longer you can see that sort of like touchy edge, like he's very close to doing it, but it's trying to
stutter
respect the
step,
boundary of
like
yeah.
And I think because Genevieve classically does not sneak around. She can, but you know, it's more like, yes, my name is Genevieve. Look at me, oh, beautiful. Anyway, I think she's gonna wait till night and ensure that no one sees her except Griffin can from like a little ways off, and she'll just kind of motion to him.
Yeah, he'll look around, make sure nobody's looking at him, and then we'll slip off.
Hello, Griffin.
Hi. I'd ask how you are, but I feel like I don't need to.
Yeah, I think for once she's not hiding her face. Like the mask is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not good. But before I do anything, I didn't want to just be an asshole and leave you waiting. Have you thought about, well, before I ask, thank you for being patient. I'm not trying to push anything.
No.
I kind of left you with a shitty request, didn't I?
You left me with a request.
Yeah, you didn't have to follow it, but I appreciate that you did. And because of that, we got to take out some assholes and bastards, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, sorry about the last one. I just figured we needed to get on the road, so I just, popped him on. Sorry.
It's okay.
Have you thought about what I asked?
Mm-hmm.
I think her first instinct is to try to read his face, but she's not going to do it.
Okay. Look, I spent my youth idealizing who I thought I wanted to be. And I think in many ways it was like I was hoping not just to do good in the world and be heroic, but to do something that made me feel like I mattered. Because I was part of something that mattered. And I hesitated on doing it because a life like that, your duty is all you have.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I had something in my life that mattered more than that. The work that we do, that matters.
It does.
And the people we've helped matter. And whatever idealized dream I had for myself, it ultimately it'd be lonely. And I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And I still have a desire to feel like I matter. And nothing has made me feel that way more than when I'm with you, so.
Oh. So, you're not going to glide off gallantly into the distance and don blue and grey and shuttle eyes that creepy, gross, blood-filled creatures.
No.
You know, it's funny, you are the only one that I've shared most of my honest thoughts with, but not all. And one of the people that I'm the most scared to talk to. I've always wanted the world to be a place that suits you. And not me. Because I want you to have the chance to live this way. Not have the world just beat you down and shape you into something different. Because you make me feel like I'm a good person. And I think it's because you are.
These things are, when it comes down to opinion, really.
Yeah, just fairly protective, including protecting people from me.
I'll protect you from yourself if I have to.
You mean it?
I do. I had always had a dream of being a shield to protect people from all that the world has, and now I want to be a shield that protects you from anything that might want to hurt you.
I have to ask you before I tell you what I think. What if it's not for such a noble cause?
I don't need noble causes anymore.
Because I'll be honest, about to do something very stupid. If you're willing to go with me. But I want you to make that choice, and I don't want to,
Genevieve,
force you into anything.
I would gladly and proudly walk into the abyss beside you if I had to.
I'm only a little afraid that you are absolutely crazy and have no idea who I am. But
I don't know if you know this about me, but when I get pretty focused on a thing, I'm like a dog with a bone.
no, I know. Trust me. I've watched you a long time. And I think she'll get in fairly close and like grab the side of his face and just, I've been alone for a long time. If you try to take this back, I will be so mad at you. So you better be sure.
Into the earth.
Because that might be where we're going.
Lead the way.
And I think she's definitely just going to hug him. And it's a sigh of relief and just, she feels like she did back then when her brother was taken away. It's a very vulnerable place to be that she very rarely goes to.
He wraps his arms around you and gives you the type of tightness to a hug that makes you feel like even if you're falling apart, he's going to hold the pieces together.
Yeah. I think she'll be there for a while until the very early morning. And what other things she might do in between that we don't know. I'll let everyone imagine that part. But she is going to start moving. And I have written to you what she's going to do.
You have indeed.
Yes.
So, everyone else, you don't see, Genevieve doesn't come back to camp. At some point, I imagine it's probably Griffin that does this. When you wake, there's a few things. Alexandra comes to let you know that she's heard some news that she wants to update you all on. She wants to update everyone on. They're going to be meeting out where people take their meals, and that you're welcome to join. And as you do so, you will also see armor, an ornate bow, and 2 notes in the camp beside you guys. I will tell you about the notes, and then you're free to perhaps, at least, even if you don't fully go over there, you're going to overhear what is being said. It sounds important enough, and everyone else is quiet enough that you will hear it regardless. Firstly, one of the notes is the note that Genevieve got. You can see that it's written in askance words. His writing informing that Genevieve's brother died protecting a woman that he loved. The second is from Genevieve herself that says, "You are all stronger than you know. Revealing secrets on boats, dropping your masks and apologizing, accepting former Templars, and showing yourselves that you can trust your own power. Break this armor and bow down and sell its gold. It's an heirloom for a lost family." And over by this fire, you can hear Alexandra getting everyone together and seated and quiet. "I've heard some interesting news from the south, from Ferelden. Apparently, Divine Justinia herself is calling for a divine conclave. They're inviting mages, Templars, people of importance from all over Thedas to try and come to a peaceful end of the war. Now, they're heading to the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and I understand a lot of you have been trying to convince me for us to move south. And I don't know if I think it's a good idea or not. It is still very dangerous. But if this works, then hopefully the conflict will end one way or another. And if what we've heard about her intentions with the uprising, with the sanctity that people have been giving in Redcliffe, maybe there's a bright future ahead. And the news is a little bittersweet for you all. Mostly because, as encouraging as that may be, your friend is not there in the camp. And it leaves probably mixed emotions for you all. And that's where we're going to end the season, everybody. Oh, now, it may seem a bittersweet ending, but I can now tell you all, because the cast are aware, we have been greenlit for a season 2, everybody. Which is very exciting. I'm super happy. These guys have been incredible to run for. We have told a very beautiful and dramatic and hilarious story together, and we will get to tell another. And I'm sure the conclave will all go really well, guys. I'm sure nothing at all bad will happen at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. We will have some decompression and love to give each other afterwards, but I would like to encourage you all to give yourselves a chance to decompress and love one another as well. We are going to do our outros for the last time this season. I can start with myself. I am Emma Hamalu on the internet. I have been the storyteller for this beautiful game. In terms of where you can see me currently, you will see me tomorrow, Monday nights, back here at Girls on These Worlds, where I am in Auriga Stars, which has been also exciting and dramatic and very gay. And you'll also see Tara in there. And Tuesdays is Transmissions Tuesdays, where you can see me in our stream on the Transmissions Twitch channel running another Dragon Age game, where they are just regular people who escaped the Blight. That is our Blood and Lyrium game. And then you will also hear me on the next episode of our podcast, which is called Black Teeth. It is a folk horror game set in rural North Wales in the 70s. And I am playing a little hedge witch, and it has all been a really beautiful story as well. So wherever you catch your podcast, you can catch that. I also have something else coming up in the summer, but I'm going to let Val tell you about that one. But I am excited about that too. So players, for the last time this season, can you tell me who you are, who you've been playing, and where we can find you?
Hello, everyone. I am Torin, or Torin Talks Creativity. I've been playing Genevieve, who might have finally snapped. I also apologize for the emotional damage. Love you all. Very quickly, I am in Fate tomorrow on this channel. I'm also in Blood and Lyrium that Emma has mentioned. And my games are wrapping up for the season, which I'm very excited. So I'll be back on my channel, Torn Talks Creativity, for gaming and art and voice acting if you'd like to find me there.
Sorry, my alarm was going off right as I was about to go. Hi everyone, I am Valdoranth. I am an any and all kind of person. I produce TTRPGs for me and my friends, which is the caveat of what I'm leaning into, is that I'm coming back the next week actually with my summer season, the first of which I will be running an Animorphs game using the Forged in the Dark system. It is my second special interest after Final Fantasy VII, so I have a lot of Animorphs lore. It's going to be traumatic and awful and wonderful, and if you like 90s nostalgia with themes of with those things. Be sure to check that out. That'll be 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Who's Arnica is actually in that with us too, so be sure to, and my friend Anna. And then we will be coming back, as Emma was saying, with the final season of In Darkness Unbroken, probably sometime in early July, just the way we're looking at when our session 0 is at the end of next month. It is yeah, very excited to be back with that. Emma runs it as a Dragon Age campaign that we've been doing for 5, almost 6 years now, and it's our final season. And we're just I have a boyfriend in there that's a Grey Warden, and bad things are probably going to happen to him. Like, but yeah, and also, you know, other people maybe from the show are in it as well. Who knows what's happening over there? So yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, all that other good stuff at Valdrianth, to keep in the loop on when things happen. That's me. I'm done.
All right. Hopefully, you guys can actually hear me because I have been suffering from tech gremlins so hard today. I am so sorry. Stupid Comcast gremlins. But my name is Alice, they, them pronouns. I have been playing Florineus this season, who also uses they, them pronouns. See where you can find me next on Monday night on Lost Caravan. No, not Monday, Tuesday. I'm bad with dates. On Lost Caravan playing Lancer. Um, you can also find me on Lost Caravan on the 25th, next Saturday, playing Goblin Errands. It's going to be fun. Also, if you guys are not sick of me yet with Dragon Age, on Enchanting Sorcery Productions, we are about to start up a new series called The End of Love. It is a Dragon Age series that I get to be a part of as a player. I am flipping the sides, and I'm actually going to be playing a Canary warrior. So that's going to be very, very exciting. Uh, Outside of that, I'm currently working on publishing a little one-page TTRPG called Wanted Professional Thieves. It's about a whole bunch of wannabe grave robbers that decide they really want to follow in the paths of Lara Croft and Indiana Jones, but the closest pyramid to them is the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, which is where they're breaking into. Otherwise, you can find me on the TTRPG actual play podcast. Welcome to Reddington. It's a Monster of the Week podcast. We're on a little bit of a hiatus that we're hopefully going to be coming back from soon. And you can find me over there as a player, a producer, and an editor. You can't see me doing jazz hands, but jazz hands.
Jazz hands are implied.
Hi, everybody. I am Mary. I've been playing Aviana. Both of our pronouns are she, her, and it's just been so much fun playing with everybody. I'm so sad the season is ending, but if you want to see what I do, head on over to either the Hell site, and you can find me at Nerd on Wheels 15, or everywhere else at the Nerd on Wheels. Coming up for me every other Monday, you can find me on Lost Caravan for Lancer Hell's Gate, a Lancer RPG campaign. I play the Murder Marshmallow, and we're going against the Death Star now after defeating Space Disney. It's going to be a wild ride. We're excited. Then you can catch me or you can catch me Tuesday with Alice for another game of Lancer, where I asked what would happen if Jennifer Coolidge was a Lancer pilot. So that's going to be fun. And then you can catch me every other Wednesday for Fandelver and Below, Halia's Harriers over on Enchanting Sorcery Productions, where I am playing a rogue cleric multi-class with a memory gap that just found out who their deity is. It's terrifying. It's wonderful. Go check it out. And then starting up on June 1st, you can find me over on Nerds with Dice for Masks the Puzzle Project, an all disabled table where we are trying to save our neighborhood after it was completely taken over by a megacorp. Uh, it's a fun superhero campaign. Really great way of showing off how disabled people can be superheroes, and it's wonderful and amazing. Go find that stuff out. Everything else I update on either Hell site or other social media. So that's all I got.
Yay. I'm Ella. My pronouns are she, her. I was playing Maddie. Her pronouns are she, her. She's a spirit healer. You can find me on the internet at GEJ on all of the social platforms. I am a writer and director and producer, so I made an audio drama called Camlan, which is a post-apocalyptic series, which is all out now. If you want to binge it, you can. I also designed a game called Upriver Downriver, which is about being a crew on a magical river, fighting unjust empires, and coming to peace with death. And then outside of that, my day job is I'm head of production for a company called Six to Start, where we make two apps, which are like fitness audio drama apps. One of them you can just get for free. It's called Zombies Run. The premise is you're in a zombie apocalypse and you're in this little township of survivors, and they're sort of there's this one guy on the radio who's kind of talking to you and asking you to help them get supplies, and then you get to know like all of the different people. It's very gay, it's great. And then we also make a show, an app called Marvel Move, which you can download for free. You can get, I think, a month free trial, and then after that, it's paid. And that's a bunch of original audio dramas with Marvel Comics. So there's like an X-Men series where you're a mutant, and there's a Daredevil series, there's a Hulk series where you have a magical power to like calm down people who are gonna Hulk out. There's a Thor and Loki 5K trainer, so if you ever want to do a couch to 5K, you can do that whilst Thor and Loki are arguing in the background about how to save the universe. It's all really cool. So do check it out. But yeah, Camlan and Upriver Downriver are my things. And if you want to check out what else I'm doing, just go at GJ Watson. I'll post that. Oh wait, no, I'm also running a series on this channel. I'm running a series on this channel called Rust. It's a post-apocalyptic epic story. It's amazing. The players are really cool. And the vibe is it's a system called Legacy, which basically lets you play factions over the course of like decades and centuries. And so each session we see like a glimpse of like another character in this apocalypse, and then we see like what they leave to kind of who comes after them, like what grudges, what alliances, what resources, like how does the world change. And I'm really excited about it. It's a very funky kind of like natural apocalypse with like some mushroom magic and some weird tech, and it's all very fun. So do come check that out too.
Okay. Good. All right, everybody. It is time to go. I had a little poem about all the session titles, but I will post that on Twitter, so go check out my Twitter if you want to see the poem that they all made. It's my own Enter the Chant of Light. We're going to head off now. We love you all very much, and we will see you for season 2, everybody. Bye!